Now in this video, let us clarify the concept of loop with a simple Java demo program. So I have initialized a class called loop demo, and inside that, as usual, I have created the main function, that is public static void main, and inside that string args. And inside this main function, I am going to write my loop. So let us, for the sake of convenience, let us stick to the same example, that is the racing track example. And now let us see how to write the Java program for that. So first of all, as I have mentioned in the previous video, that you have to start your race at lap count equals 0. So that means what? You have to create a variable of type integer. Let's say lap equals 0. So you initialized your lap to 0. So now you have to enter the loop, that is you are about to enter the racing competition. So in order to do that, you have to use a keyword called while to tell the Java compiler that, well, I want to go inside a loop. Now inside this, right after this while keyword, after telling the Java compiler that I want to enter a loop, you have to specify that how long you want to be inside the loop, that is the condition. What condition should be fulfilled to be inside the loop. And as I have told earlier, that our race will finish at lap count 4. So that means you have to write until lap is less than 4, I want to stay inside the loop. So when the lap is less than 4, so long the lap will be less than 4, I will be inside the loop. And will be inside the loop means all the statement inside this opening and closing curly braces of this while loop will be executed. So I want to just print the line just depicting the fact that, okay, you started running. So let's write like system.out.print and then run, and it should be inside a double quote, and let us print an optional space just to show you that, okay, you are run and run and run and run like this. So like this, so you started running, you entered the race competition by saying by using this while keywords, you entered the loop, and you already told the Java program that, well, I will be inside the loop until the lap is less than 4, and inside, after entering that loop, you are printing run, just like you started running in your racing competition. And now remember what I did as the last step. In the last step, in the end of every lap, that is by the end of the while iteration of the while loop, you have to increment the lap count by 1. So that means you need to do something like this: lap equals lap plus 1. So this is actually incrementing the value of lap by 1, like this. So this is the last statement of the while loop, that is just like the fact that end of the racing lap, and in that point you are incrementing the lap count by 1, like this. So now let us run the program, and what I expect is, here you will run 4 different laps, right? So you started from 0, 0 is less than 4, so it will print run, and then so it will print run for the first time, and then lap count will be incremented to 1, then again 1 will be less than 4, so it will go inside the lap and it will print run for the second time. And as you can imagine that in the race you run for 4 different laps. So that means here in this program it will print run for 4 different times inside using this while loop. So let us see whether this while loop is printing this run for 4 different times or not. So I started running, and as you can see, it printed run, 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 and run. That is 4 different times. So that's uh, that's the demo of the Java while loop, a simple Java demo. Now let us say instead of printing just run, I also want to print the lap count. That is what is happening with the lap count. So instead of just printing this, let me print the lap count. So system.out.print, instead of printing just a run for 4 times, let us see whether lap count is incrementing or not. So I'm just testing the value of lap, what is happening with it. So let us do something like this. Lap equals plus lap, and let's give an optional space just to distinguish each different lap one after another. So here what I am expecting is it should print for the first time when it will go inside the while loop. In the first iteration it will print lap equals 0, and after that 0 will be incremented by 1. So the next time it will go inside the loop, it will print 1. Then the next time it will be incremented to 2. So next time it will go inside the while loop, it will print 2, and then 3, and it will stop there, because once it will hit 4 it will come out of the loop. So let us see whether it is printing 0, 1, 2, 3, these 4 different numbers or not. So let me run this program, and as you can see that, well, first time lap equals 0. So value of lap is 0 for the first time, so it printed 0 over here, and then the lap count have been incremented by 1, so it became 1, and then it came to while loop. So 1 is less than 4, so it came inside the while loop again. So and then it print lap equals 1 here, and after that it again did like lap equals lap plus 1. So that means 1 plus 1 equals 2, and after that it came to this while loop condition once again. So this time again 2 is less than 4, so it came inside the while loop and printed lap equals 2 over here, and after that it incremented the value from 2 to 3. So after incrementing this, it again encountered the while loop condition, that is 3 is less than 4. Does it make sense? Well, still yes. So it came inside the while loop again and printed lap equals 3 over here, and after printing 3 it incremented the value of lap to 4. So 3 plus 1 equals 4. And next time when it encountered the while loop, it found that it checked like 4 is less than 4. Does that make sense? Well, no, of course not. So it broke the loop and came out of the loop. Now, just in order to show you that, well, it came outside the loop, I am writing another extra line of code just for the purpose of demo that the loop has been broken and came out of the loop. So system.out.print, let's say out of lap. So this is out of lap, and let us print one end line here, a line break over here. So it should give a line break, and then it should print out of lap. So it should print lap equals 0, 1, 2, 3, and then it will break the loop, and it will print out of lap, outside, after coming outside the while loop. So now let us run this program and let us see whether everything is printing correctly or not. And as you can see, after completion of lap 3, it went outside the lap. Now just think of one thing. What should be the value of lap after this while loop? So, well, lap. So let us try to print this value of lap after this while loop. So you can just pause this video at this moment and you can start thinking like what should be the value of lap in here. So system.out.print uh, outside of lap, value of lap equals plus lap. So what should be the value of lap? And just for the sake of clarity, I just put one extra line here, line break here. So it should print the current value of lap outside the while loop. So what do you think? What should be the value of lap at this point? The value of lap will be 4 at this point. Just remember with what condition the while loop have been broken. So after you incremented from lap 3, after you incremented from lap from 3 to 4 in this line, then the while loop checked like 4 is less than 4 and it evaluated to false, of course, because 4 equals to 4, and it broke the while loop. So what I can expect is the value of lap is 4 in here. So let us see what is happening in here. So, and as you can expect that, well, that value of lap is still 4 over here. And because after 3, in the end of the loop, it incremented the value from 3 to 4. And when it checked like 4 less than 4, it have been evaluated to false. And that's why the while loop have been broken. So always remember that whenever you are outside the while loop, it should hold the value of this variable, like for which the condition have been evaluated to false, not the values that have been that was keeping the program control inside the loop. Rather, the lap at this point will hold the value that made this condition false. For example, in here, the value of lap equals 4 made this 4 less than 4 condition false and came outside the loop. So that's what you have to remember. So that is about a simple while loop in Java.